Yo, what's up, guys? 260 Jake here, Jazzy Jake. A lot of you guys may know me from Fort Wayne Speed Shop, Columbia City JFL, Coach Smith Youth Athletics, LTD, my non-for-profit, and also the organization that I've been riding motorcycles with for over 10 years. For those of you that don't know me, I've been riding dirt bikes since I was a kid. Got out on the streets, got into Harleys, had some good influences from like my stepdad who kind of got me into motorcycling, and then my good buddy Vish, who pretty much took me under his wing over a winter and pretty much built a Sportster for me with like my assistance, with him kind of like teaching me things as we went along, him showing me like tricks of the trade, making fun of me and my Garth Brooks music and all that good stuff. But appreciate you, Vish, man. Great memories that we made that winter, and between pretty much my stepdad Vish and a crap ton of YouTube videos and the boys at the speed shop, kind of got me to this point to be tinkering with bikes more. You know, we've done some pretty neat stuff with my 2019 Street Bob over there. I'm sure some of you guys have seen some pics. But now it's come down to Operation Tokyo Drift is what I'm calling it. Just a huge love for the Fast and the Furious franchise and Paul Walker. Nothing really after Tokyo Drift, actually. Just the first couple. But that's kind of where that ideology came from, the idea behind it. So really, like, it's been a while since I've had any creative energy whatsoever to do anything with a motorcycle. Like, my 19 Street Bob has just been doing, like, cool little trinket stuff over at the speed shop. You know, Dave threw in the S&S camshaft and got her dynoed and tuned for me. I've done a lot of bolt-on stuff, 2-in-1, T-Sport, kind of made my own T-bar setup. Threw a bigger rotor on the front. We did some stuff with taking some wheels off of an Evo Sportster and did a 25mm bearing conversion. So just little things, but nothing that's been like, oh my gosh, I'm just dying to work on something. I have not had like any interest in that. I've just been riding a ton and have been pretty busy with our non-for-profit over in supporting youth athletes in Whitley County, getting them the tools that they need to play. So then I've been thinking, you know, I've never been great at any type of motorcycle related activity, but I've done a lot of different things. And I think like when I die, that's always been kind of a thing for me, that I would love to say like, hey, oh, here's a type of motorcycle riding. Yeah, I've done that. Oh, here's a type of riding. Yeah, I've done that. So I've been flat tracking multiple times now on both hooligan and mad dog class. Like, I'm not good at it, but I get around the track okay. I'm pretty busy with all the non-for-profit stuff and my son playing soccer year-round, so I'm kind of a soccer dad, I guess you could say, in that aspect. So it's tough for me to get to the track when it's going to be like a whole weekend experience. You know, I do a little bit more in the winter and indoor when all that stuff dies down. I just haven't had much going on. Well, then I happen to be listening to the Fast Life podcast and had never even heard of it and just happened to come across it. My buddy Toby, who's a diehard FXR nut like me, is like, hey, dude, listen to this podcast, and like, I want another FXR, you know, and maybe the right one will come up. And then I happen to go over to Speed Shop, and Dave happens to come across this 93 FXR with police bags and old school screen on it. It's just a dumpster of a motorcycle. I fell in love with it immediately. He gave me a hell of a deal on it. And then I'm listening to Nick from the FXR Bazaar, represent, like the dude in the FXR community. The first part of the plan is to build this thing so it can do wheelies, and a lot of that's going to be with gearing. You know, I've seen a lot of people comment on like the first post on this stuff on the Speed Shop page, like, dude, get a sport bike front end on it, dude, get, you know, big inch motor. Man, to get the wheel up, I'm like, this isn't going to be some like semi-professional attempt of me like, son, this is like me being a thug, coming up to the spot, and everybody's hanging out at a bike night, and I can rip a sweet wheelie or drift a little bit, you know, like just touching on it. It's going to be just some hobby stuff, just to say, hey, you know, I've run down the drag strip, I've been on the flat track. I'd still love to try hill climbing sometime, but then, oh, hey, yeah, P.S., I stunt. I ride a lot of miles every year, and then so that becomes the second part of this whole scheme is Nick from FXR Bazaar starts talking about this Triple Crown. There's no way I'm going to be able to do Triple Crown 2021. It's just too soon, and I literally just found out about it. But Triple Crown is the West Coast Jam in Nevada, the East Coast Jam in Tennessee, and the Sturgis FXR show. And I think that's the V-Twin Visionary. I'm not 100% sure about that, but all in the same year. That's June, July, August, back-to-back-to-back months, monster rides, you know. Down to Maryville, Tennessee to Dream Rides to John Jessup, that's a day ride, 8 hours, whatever, no big deal. Sturgis, you know, we do every year, no big deal. But then added onto that, going to Nevada and having to do that on an FXR that's your bike, like that you bought or that you put together or whatever. So that's where this whole idea for this build came from. So it's going to be, hey, I want to go rip down, hit the Triple Crown, all the while learning like wheelies on my XR100, and then as I get better on the Harley, doing videos on those two. So it's kind of like a two-part process. But man, I'm no professional videographer. Most of this stuff's going to be done with like an iPhone and GoPro, whatever I feel like doing that day, and a free video editor, and just trying to throw stuff up there. I don't know, it may be a weekly video, bi-weekly, monthly, who knows. I just want to keep content coming to promote Fort Wayne Speed Shop and what we do over there. P.S. Keep buying parts, getting your engines built and buying bikes, because like the more I can sell, the more parts I can buy for my bike. So thank you in advance. And then trying to shed light too on our loyal suppliers. We're one of the bigger S&S distributors in the area. You know, Baker, D&D Exhaust, Brock's Performance, you know, being Drag Specialties, all those guys. We want to try to use parts on the bike that can highlight what they do for us at Fort Wayne Speed, and show that these are products that we trust and that we would run. And maybe you guys see something cool, you're like, oh man, I didn't know they made a seat like that. That'd be cool to get a hold of. Oh man, like that's a tight setup you got, whatever, suspension wise. That'd be cool for us to, you know, what's the price on something like that? We're trying to build up that branding for our distributors too. This is also all going to culminate into some big news that Dave has coming up. I won't get too far into, but this is all promotion and just me like wanted to get on the camera and just vlog a little bit about just like the amount of fun. I'm so thankful for the fun that I get to have, just being able to ride all over the country, not only with the organization that I ride with and represent, but also to like just shed light on the people that allow me to do cool stuff like this. One of them is Matco Tools, Gilbert Tools LLC, the absolute stud of the area for high-end tools. Like, I have a better toolbox setup than I would ever need. But then it takes the excuses away from not having high-end tools for you to be able to do the job and to do this build. Being able to utilize the Speed Shop. You know, Dave and Sonny have offered to really help me go through this Evo motor. Evo's not really my jam. I've done a ton of twin cams, like a ton. Not so much lower end stuff, but everything else. My usual go-to is like, oh yeah, if you get an 88-inch motor, we do, you know, 95 kit, Screaming Eagle 203 cams, adjustable push rods, hydraulic lifters, that whole bit. So the Evo motor, I've had a couple of them, but I've never had to go down into the lower end, really mess with anything. So it's going to be a cool learning experience for me on that point of it. And so I get to highlight Fort Wayne Speed Shop, Gilbert Tools LLC, people that have helped me like in flat tracking, like Gasky Trucking and Excavating, the organization that I associate with, shining light on like FXR Bazaar for all you guys in that community that could utilize trading, buying and selling parts and stuff like that. It's such an awesome resource. And then all through that journey of like, hey, I'm gonna have some ride footage in there of me, like this is what it looks like with me going down the open road. I average around like 15,000 miles a year, I would say. Some years it's 20, some years it's 12, but it always seems to fluctuate around that 15. And yeah, man, like it's just gonna be a cool experience. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Thank you, Dave, Sonny, all the boys at the Speed Shop, Mikey, Detailing, Dick, Powder Coat, Zach, Mechanics, Preston, Young Thug, like all you guys over there do so much for me to help keep me going and keep me on the road and all these different adventures that I try doing. It's like flat track, like, hey, yo, yeah, here's some tires, bro. Hey, you know, oh, you need to borrow the trailer, whatever. Like, they take care of me, and that's why I'm so loyal to those guys. Even with Terry, it's like, yo, dude, you know, need this tool, man. Like, it's a specialty Harley tool. Yep, I can get it. Here's a good deal on it, you know. So I want to, you know, gas those guys up and make sure that everybody's aware of the awesome, you know, companionships that I've made, you know, giving shouts to who I've learned from along the way. So wouldn't be where I'm at without my stepdad and Vish kind of leading me down this path, and a whole hell of a lot of YouTube videos. Shane Conley, your YouTube videos are phenomenal. Again, FXR Bazaar for giving people an outlet to get FXR parts, and then everybody in between. So stay tuned. We're going to keep cutting it up and have some different stuff. Who knows how long the videos will be or how the hell I'll end up doing them. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully you like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And hopefully the videos keep getting better and better. So this is 260 Jake. We're out.